And welcome back to Talk of the Town. My next guest is Christie Olsen from Forward Fertility. Welcome, Christie.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Yeah, good to have you here. So you're going to talk to us a little bit about increasing awareness for fertility treatment and what options are available here in Dane County. First of all, talk to us a little bit about how common is it for a person to need assistance in conceiving?
Well, it's really becoming more common. Years ago with the traditional family, fertility treatments weren't really spoken of or even available. But as couples are delaying how long they wait till have children, or as people decide to parent without a partner, and often with the marriage equality, same-sex couples certainly need some assistance with fertility treatment.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot more of a demand for it there. So what are some of the resources that are available here in Dane County for people who are trying to conceive?
Well, I think many of your viewers may not know that things such as acupuncture can help couples conceive. There are certainly IVF clinics. I think a really heart-to-heart conversation with your primary care provider can be helpful. And the one other thing I would say that many people going through fertility feel is isolation. So I think one of the biggest resources for people is really just tapping into their own network of friends and family for some support as they go through the process.
Yeah, getting that emotional support, I would imagine, is pretty important.
Well, they've found that people going through fertility can have the same amount of stress as someone who has a new cancer diagnosis or has lost a child. So it's pretty significant.
Well, and many of them probably have lost,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Losses is one of the reasons people have fertility struggles.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. So share with viewers the range of different interventions or treatments that might be suggested for someone who's trying to conceive.
You bet. Some things are as simple as losing 10 or 15 pounds can help a woman start to ovulate more regularly, which is one of the issues. There can also be things, certainly smoking, things like that we know are really harmful to the woman's body for conceiving. Some of the more advanced options can be going to an IVF clinic.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's a variety of different options.
Definitely.
Now you are a women's health nurse practitioner, and you're also the founder of Forward Fertility. How does Forward Fertility fit into this process? Like, what do you offer?
Yeah, exactly. Forward Fertility is the only agency in the state of Wisconsin that offers both egg donation and surrogacy.
Okay.
So women who are interested in participating in either of those processes would contact me, and then I help them sort of get educated about the process and understand if they qualify. If they do, then they would be matched up with a family or a couple who may need those services.
And do you do anything on site, or are you just kind of a consultant?
Yeah, it's a good question. As a women's health nurse practitioner, when I worked at an IVF clinic, I did a lot of that clinical stuff. Now my role is really more of as a guide or a consultant through the process. It's very complicated, so having a go-to person can be really beneficial.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned earlier same-sex couples. If they choose to have children, they'll need some assistance in forming their family. Talk a little bit more about more of the resources that are available here in Dane County for those folks.
Yeah, you bet. Well, one thing that is really important is when you're conceiving with an egg donor, a sperm donor, or a donated embryo, one thing you really want to check in with at the beginning is an attorney to protect your rights as a parent and your rights as a parent for that child.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure. I can imagine that there is probably a pretty big legal component when you're bringing other people, other parties into the mix.
Definitely, and all parties need legal representation.
Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, this is, you talked about surrogacy a little bit. I mean, that for a woman to be able to do that, that has to be something that they feel like is an amazing gift. Like, hey, I'm helping this family bring a child into the world.
Yeah.
Are there qualifications for women to become a surrogate mother?
Definitely. Some women who want to be surrogates don't qualify based on their medical or emotional or mental health histories, and certainly other women who qualify aren't interested in carrying a child for someone. But the basic requirements are that a woman needs to be between 21 and 40. She needs to have had at least one healthy full-term delivery, and she really needs to be motivated to want to help this other family achieve parenthood.
Yeah, that's a big commitment of someone's life to give up 9 months to do that.
It is. The surrogates I've worked with have described it as euphoric after they're done. So.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
Well, Christie Olsen from Forward Fertility, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Don't go away. When we come back, there's more Talk of the Town. We'll be talking with O'Connell Pharmacy. Stay with us.